Graham, hi. Can you hear me okay?
Hi, yes I can, yeah.
Hi. You well?
Very well, yourself?
Yep, good, thank you. Tell us how the squad's looking. I realise you've got a few days yet, but is there any good news on Dan Burn or Adam Webster?
Yeah, both trained this morning, so that's good for us. We just to see how they respond to that. So yeah, really positive. Aaron Connolly maybe trained towards the back end of the week. We'll see. But no, it's nice to have Dan and Adam back.
They will be fit, will they?
Well, again,
pretty sure.
We'll see how they respond. There's a few more training sessions, but and Adam's been out a while, so we just need to see how he reacts to everything. But yeah, like I said, they joined the group and trained today, so we'll take it as it goes as the week goes.
And how far away do you think Aaron Connolly is?
Yeah, again, he hasn't trained this week yet, so but it's just a soreness on his foot, so we just need to wait for that pain to go. Really, there's a chance for the back end of the week, stroke weekend, but we'll see.
Okay, everybody else. Okay, no new problems. Let's put it that way.
No, off the top of my head, no new problems.
Okay. Look, Florent Andoni hasn't played this season. Do you see a role for him between now and the end, or not?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's recovering from he's been out for a long time, so he's had a major problem with his knee. So he's worked really hard to be back. He's been back in the groups, training with the group. He's due to get some time on the pitch within the 23s over the next day or so. So that's positive for us. And then from there, we need to just take the right steps to allow him to get up to match fitness. I mean, he's been out for near on 9 months now, so it's not so easy just to go straight into a Premier League game. But the focus now is to get him up to speed, get him some match time, keep building himself up, and who knows.
You go into this match against Everton, having won 2 of the last 3. Southampton beat Newcastle but lost to Manchester United. Did that defeat in any way undo any of the positives from the previous 2 matches?
No, I wouldn't say it didn't undo anything. I think it's highlighted where we're at, which is we have to be really, really good to take points in the Premier League. And whilst we were okay, we weren't as good as I think we can be against Manchester United. And that's what we have to focus on. We have to, learn from that and make sure that we try and get the maximum level we can out of ourselves for the next 8 matches. Of course, there's always an opponent on the pitch, which makes it difficult for you to do exactly what you want to do. And Manchester United is a high quality opponent, I would say. But nevertheless, we can still focus on ourselves and the things that we can do better. We need to do, and then we need to take that into the remaining matches.
You mentioned 8 to play, 32 points at the moment. 2 more wins, would that do it for you, do you think?
Who knows? We just focus on trying to get the next win, which is the next opportunity is Everton. Focus on the next game. Try and get as many points as we can, but the best way to do that is just to focus on the next match. And we face a team that's fighting again at the top end of the table, so it's another tough one for us. But we're looking forward to it. We need to respond.
What do you make of Everton just at the moment? They've taken just 1 point from the last 3 in the Premier League.
But before then, they had, I think, 3 straight wins. So it depends which statistic you want to focus on. I think they've invested heavily over a period of time. They've got a top manager. They're, as I've said, fighting at the top end of the table. They've got some really, really talented, individual players. They're flexible in how they play. So we expect a difficult match. That's as simple as that.
I want to ask you about Jakub Moder. He started the last 2 matches for you. How do you feel he has developed since joining you, back in January time?
Well, I think it's just a case that
how's he progressing?
Yeah, I think it's just that he's settled in. He came to us on the back of his little break that he had, because he was finished his domestic season and a winter break, played a lot of football, but then came to us, adapting to a new club, adapting to a new team, a new league, a new country. So he's done all that really well. The team went through a period where we were playing well and getting some decent results at the start of the year. So he's had to be a bit patient, but he's done it in a good way. Getting to know the players more, building relationships with them, and I think he's contributed well.
But finally, from me, your former club Swansea have today announced that the club, the players, and the staff from 5 o'clock today are to come off social media for 1 week, for a whole week. Is that something that you support?
Well, I know the guys at Swansea, especially the guys in the media department, but a lot of the people there. It's a good club with good people, so whatever they decide is right for them is absolutely fine by me, and I support their decision, because it's based on what they know about their club and what's the right thing to do for their players. So congratulations to them for making a stand.
Is it something that perhaps other clubs could consider? Is it something that Brighton could consider?
Well, I'm sure it is. As I said, I think it's for every club to decide what the right thing is for them, and I don't think we can sit here and judge what the other people do, positively or negatively. It's up to them to make the decision that they feel is right for them in the current situation. But I certainly wouldn't be against it. We'll keep assessing the situation, see what we can do to affect it, because at the moment it isn't. It doesn't feel like we've got the right environment.
Graham, thank you. Listen, wish you well.
Thank you.
Good luck Monday.
Cheers.
Hi Graham, Miriam here from ELP.
Hi.
How much of a difference will it make when Adam and Dan are back, whether it's Monday or after Monday, to the last few games?
Well, I think it's more for the last 2 or 3 matches we've been working with really 3 fit defenders. So you're a little bit worried if you pick up an injury or something. You're a bit light and you're a bit feeling a bit vulnerable. So credit to the players that they've managed to go through that period, and we found a solution as a team to be able to do without that number. But I think it's like anything. If you've got some good players that have been injured and they're coming back, it's beneficial to the team, because it adds competition, it adds options, it adds different ways to approach matches, and I think that's what we need over the next 8 games.
And you said you need to focus on the games as they come individually, but when you've got City, Chelsea, Arsenal in those last 8 games, how difficult is it not to see the next kind of 6 weeks as one block of hard work?
Yeah, I mean we had. I think we've got experience from last year. We came back from the lockdown and we faced, I think it was Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, Manchester United, and Leicester, I think it was, in a game block of 9 matches. So we know that it's every game in the Premier League is difficult, and you can think about blocks and you think about packets of games, but ultimately the only game that matters is the next match. That's the only one that all focus, everything should be to that game, and we try our best. We try and get a result, and if we do or we don't, we have to try to learn and try to develop and try to get better, because we're facing the next game, and that becomes the most important. And that's really how we've always worked, and I think how we have to work with the next eight games.
And when you're thinking about keeping the players motivated, and I guess, how do you keep them more motivated than every other player from every other club who's at risk of relegation? What do you do that puts them above everyone else?
Well, I can only speak for what we do. I think you have to be consistent with how you work. You have to try to focus on the things that you can control, which is the performance level of the players, understand the nature of the situation in terms of what's at stake and the pressure and all that sort of stuff. But this is elite level football. This is the Premier League. Unfortunately, no one thinks it's going to be easy. So we have to do our best and try to keep pushing to try to improve, because I think that's always really, really important. It's the thing that you can control. You can drive yourself really, really crazy just trying to chase a result. We have to focus on the things we can do to get the result.
Are the guys able to do anything kind of outside of training still as a team to kind of build morale, or not really because of the lockdown?
Not really because of the world we're living in. But I must say that we've managed it quite well in terms of when the players have been here, how we're working every day. There's never been I don't think there's been a problem in terms of motivation or togetherness or positivity. I think we've been really, really fortunate. Of course, it's never perfect. You always have your ups and downs along the season, but as I've said before, it's a really strong group. I'm really happy with how the group is, how it conducts itself. Great bunch of guys. The ones that are not in the team are supporting the team, but they want to play. They're ready to help if they need to. There's healthy competition. There's good respect. So there's lots of things there that we feel really positive about. But until you get the points, we know we're just got to keep fighting.
Well, thanks a lot. That's it from me.
Okay.
Hi there, Graham. Danny Welbeck scored against his former club. I think that's 4 in 10 for him. He's on a 1-year contract. Would you be keen for him to extend his stay with you?
Yeah, I think Danny's been. I think he's been really, really good for us. Frustrated to lose him in the middle part of the season, but regardless of that, he's been fantastic. I think around the group. Really good. He has the respect of everybody in the group and the club. And then if you look at his goals when he's been on the pitch, it's been really his return has been really positive. So I think he's a player that we're going to, of course, sit down with at the end of the season and find the right solution for everybody. That's how it is. That's I think how we've always thought about this. But no, I've been really happy with Danny.
In terms of the game, I know you're a real student of the game and you talk often about managers. What impact has Carlo Ancelotti had on football in recent years at so many different clubs as well?
I think it's to say massive isn't obviously an understatement. He's worked at a very, very highest level, done everything that he can in the game, has done it in his way, has followed some big coaches. I think followed Pep into Bayern Munich, as I remember. That type of stuff. He does it in his own way. He's a quiet way of leadership, I think, and but just a really, really impressive character. Huge influence on modern football, and will go down as one of the great coaches.
And he's got a great squad there with him, hasn't he? I know they've got a few injuries at the moment, but some serious depth as well. Yeah,
well, as I've said, they've invested as a club like Everton, a massive club, and they've got a ambition, of course, and they've invested over a period of time. That doesn't mean to say it's a straightforward job for Carlo, because he's still got to organise things, but I think he's done it well since he's been there, and I think they'll go stronger and stronger as long as he's there.
You were just talking earlier with Miriam about self-motivation. It really appears your squad is a very big self-motivated group. Do you have to do much work with them on that sort of side of things, or do you leave that very much to them?
Well, I think you speak to most people in the game, especially at this level, that the motivation has to come from within, from the players. Firstly, their job, I think, is to make sure they're ready for the game. They want to try and improve. They want to get better as individuals, because it benefits their careers for that to happen. But I think our point is to try to link it with the team, with the club, so that they buy into what we're doing here, and that it's not just about them as individuals. They're buying into the team and the club. And I think if you do that, then you can get a 1 + 1 is 3. That's what we're trying to do. It's of course challenging in the Premier League because people like to win, and winning football matches is a way just to keep that motivation ticking along. And when you're not winning, it can test it. But credit to the players, they've been really, really good. Some good people in the dressing room, which helps. And I think there's a nice mix of different characters, different people, different parts of the world that are all trying to help each other improve and try to create a club and a team that we're proud of.
Because all players at all levels are under a lot of pressure. I'm sure you'll have seen the very sad news at Yeovil Town recently. Just wondered what your thoughts were really on the importance of mental health for players, particularly when they're in such a spotlight, whatever the level that they're playing at. Yeah,
incredibly sad. Thoughts are with Lee Collins' family and friends and Daryl Saal at Yeovil and everybody connected with Yeovil Town Football Club. It's incredibly sad. And I think it's just another highlight of how important it is to, especially as men, Johnny, I don't think we're the best at talking about showing vulnerability, about expressing when we're in a bit of trouble or we have feelings that are hard to articulate. I think it's important that we make sure we're there for each other, that we look out for each other, that we ask each other if we're okay, just simple things, but incredibly sad. And I think it sort of links in with the discussion we're having around social media about how it's another aspect of life that is adding to the challenge, because there's a lot of negativity out there, and even that I think is sometimes hard to process. So yeah, modern life is tough, and I think as men in particular, we need to be okay with that. We need to be honest enough to admit that at times and talk about it.